Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
And welcome to Pattaya, welcome to Thailand, and of course, as per normal, welcome to the podcast studio. And what can we say, Mr. Bobby, at the end there? How are we, Bobby? All right?
Doing good.
Am I going to get your name right today?
Bobby Parr's in the house.
Bobby Parr's in the house.
Bobby Parr's.
Parr's. And what can we say about Mr. Darren? I mean, look at him. Look.
I'm in the dungeon.
That's what you get for talking shit on this show, mate. You get slammed in the dungeon.
Slammed in the dungeon. I'm talking on purple heads.
Before we start, guys, I mean, we might as well get this out of the way. I mean,
I think my head shrunk. He's the one fit. I'll tell you what, you've had a big guy on here, mate. Look, you must have had a big head.
Humpty Dumpty, you fell off though, mate. But let's talk about this. The election that's going on at the moment. Yeah, I mean, Bobby's from America, we're from the UK, blah, blah, blah. So you probably fill us in a little bit more.
I watched the circus today.
Well, yeah, I mean, the circus. I mean, how's it going? Are you guys up to speed on it? Or
It was a 2-ring circus today.
Was it, yeah? And I know, I saw when I come out, Biden was in front, but that doesn't mean nothing to me, you know, where the Americans are concerned. I mean,
The Dems are trying to steal it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, it's we've got at the moment, according to this live feed, we've got. I mean, you know, wherever this feed's coming from, after 41 out of 50 states, Biden on 224 and Trump on 213, and of course they need 270 to win. Is that right, Bobby?
Yeah, there's like 6 or 7 states that really haven't completed their counting of ballots. So,
And what's the history of them states? Is it?
actually,
is it normally Trump or is it?
Pennsylvania was actually Biden's territory for. I mean, he's a native of Pennsylvania, so he kind of is sewing that up, trying to. Trump's way ahead, but they're saying it's.
My phone is flashing in. I'm going to tell you why it's flashing, because I've got an RSS feed. And on the RSS feed at the moment, this is what it's saying. Live now, RSS feed, US vote goes to the wire as Trump falsely claims fraud.
There you go.
Already. It's already off.
It's not even finished.
It's not even finished and it's off. I mean, what is it? Let's go. I mean, we don't sort of understand it probably as much as Bobby, do we? But I mean, what's the uptake on this, Bobby? Is it all down to the amount of money or what?
The mainstream media does not want President Trump to go another 4 years. That's the bottom line. So,
Yeah, but Biden was a shitbag when he was under Obama, wasn't he?
before that, he was too.
You know,
He hasn't done anything in 47 years.
Well, there you go. I mean, all of a sudden, he's great. You know, 47 years, and look at me now. I'm the president. A load of crap.
I don't follow it, so I mean, I can't really speak about it. I mean, Bobby's more into it than I am, and I don't know if you follow it at all. But it's, you know, I mean,
I'd have give the job to Sam Fox or somebody like that.
Yeah. I mean, my personal opinion is that I think that Trump, as a non-person of their circle who came from the outside, as a businessman, came into their circle, and you know, he stirred up the hornet's nest, hasn't he? And I think there's a lot of scaredy cats in there, and I think that's why they don't want him to get in. That's my personal opinion.
They don't like change, do they?
No.
When it's the same as the UK. I mean, like we say it every week, you got a load of crumbly old farts sat there in Parliament, and you know, they want it the way they want it. They don't want to change. They don't want to move with the times.
For 300 quid a day, mate, they're all right, aren't they?
That's right.
I mean, it's.
I mean, the UK now, all of a sudden, 6 months too late, they've decided to go on lockdown.
Again,
when everybody else is already nearly at the other end, you know.
I was speaking to some people in the UK last night, and basically, it's like you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. I mean, so what's happening? I mean, where is this leading? Where is it going, Bobby? Where's it leading?
I don't know.
Where is this going? When's it gonna? Who's the person that's gonna go? Oh, it's all over now. Everything's okay. Let's all go back to normal. Who's going to say that?
They're all hanging on for this vaccine, I think, mate.
Yeah, we're experiencing the portal to a reset right now. There's going to be a whole reset happening on a different level with vaccine being introduced to society, and people are going to go around operating differently. A whole new operating system is coming for humanity, in my opinion.
And they're working on it.
Well, this is the reset, man. No one knows what's happening right now. Nobody.
I just don't get it, because I mean they've even in the UK now, people were staying at home, and they were getting the 80% from the companies that they were working for. They've now extended that now, so they're going to continue paying that 80%. Also, my sister sent me a link this morning, which is £300 a week stay at home.
Yeah,
they send you £300 to stay at home.
A friend of mine, she's in the UK. I mean, she works over there. She works for an accountant's company. She gets out of pajamas, does the computer work for a few hours, and then gets back in bed. That's it. It's great.
But I mean, I just don't see. I mean, it's costing trillions and trillions and trillions. So I don't see. Is this a cleanup operation, Bobby? Is this a, get rid of the old and in with the new? Is this a depopulation? What is this?
Why are they doing it 6 months after everybody else? That's what I do. 6-7 months after everyone else. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden Europe's going in the shit again. And hang on a minute. I thought they were okay a couple of months ago. Now all of a sudden it's the 97th wave. What is it? Is it a fucking swimming park or what? Huh?
They got us going.
There's another wave.
Yeah, I mean, it's, you sort of like, he's pretty heavy into this. But you were saying, of course, that the UK is sort of like, because of COVID, that's sort of last on the list or something. We were talking before we came on air. You were saying something about the UK now is what?
Well, they're not green light,
Okay.
like Thailand are. If anybody goes on holiday from Thailand now abroad, most of them don't have to go through quarantine because Thailand's classed as a non-COVID, country. But the problem that we're going to see, I think, in Thailand this year is that, as we know, high season is normally Brits. It's always full of Brits.
Absolutely.
We know, especially Pattaya, it probably makes up 90% of the holiday makers. Well, they ain't going to be coming, mate. Because even they're not going to give them a visa. The consulates are not even ready or not being allowed to give tourist visas in the UK. So people can't come anyway. So it's going to be a quiet...
They've stopped all flights at the moment as well, haven't they, from the UK, I believe? I mean, I was speaking to my sister yesterday, and she said that all flights have been cancelled from the UK now. I mean, I don't know if that's true. So if you do know guys out there, send us a message.
I think people going on business are allowed to go out. So
Right.
I think I think there's some traffic, and cargo planes are allowed to go out. But I think it's just the passenger ones that are on lockdown.
So at the moment, I mean, what we got coming into Thailand at the moment, we've got what? We've got...
Chinks. And people with families.
That's it.
Yeah. Well, sorry, I say Chinks, but Chinese people. They're only 140 at the moment.
140 what, a day?
No, that's it. Up to now on tourist visas.
So they've only let 140 in
Up to now.
so far.
Yeah. And at the end of last month, they were supposed to be letting another 400 in.
Which is, of course, going
But
to boost the economy.
Nobody's said anything. Nobody's heard anything. There's no updates on what happened to them 140 Chinese that come in. Did they have COVID? Didn't they? Where did they go? Was they stopped? There was nothing on that. So we don't even know whether they're still here or not. Or have they gone home or what? That's what people have been waiting for, and we've heard nothing.
What's the general, I mean, as you sit in your office down at Kiwis, I mean, what's the general sort of feeling from people that do come into the office for a visa or try and do something? I mean, what's their feeling? Are they downbeat about things? Or,
Mate, depressed.
I mean, yeah? In what way? I mean, like, what's the feedback?
Okay. I think it's two stages, really. I think you've got the guys that are retired here who like it because... there's more of a choice for them for their age, if you understand what I mean. There's less traffic on the roads. It's quiet. So they like it. They're getting the pension coming in every month. But the business people, like me, you, and a lot of other business guys who are fighting to survive, like companies all over the world, it's depressing. It's dire. Like, Phuket, they had all the governors and the Prime Minister went down there this week with all his full entourage, and tourism wasn't mentioned once. I read it today. They spoke about different things, but tourism wasn't even mentioned. They went and had a bit of a look round and then went back to Bangkok.
But well, let me put it this way, right? So if a person, a guy from whatever country is here and his funds run out and he's got to get back to wherever he's got to get back to, I mean, either way, at the moment, it's pretty bleak, isn't it?
It's dire.
It's dire. I mean, you've said yourself.
Out there, I've seen more life in a tramp's vest. As I said before, it's for most businesses I've spoke to, they're saying it's just like somebody's closed the door on the road into the business. It's just nothing. There's nothing happening. That we've seen like Leeds. We were doing great, for girls going over to the UK. And all of a sudden, as soon as there was news of this lockdown, gone quiet. Whereas yet this normally for our business is the busiest time of the year.
But who's the the thing that sort of gets it in my brain, and I mean Bobby knows how my brain works a little bit because he's my dad, aren't you, Bobby?
Last lifetime.
I mean, I just can't get this in my head when who is the person that turns around and just goes, everything's okay now, darling, the gates are open, we can all go back to normal. Who's going to make that decision?
I don't think there'll ever be a normal, mate. I think, all I keep hearing people saying is the new norm. Yeah, we don't want the fucking new norm. We want the old one back. There was nothing wrong with the old one. But it's going to be a long, drawn-out, boring process of different countries getting vaccines and people then... Obviously, people having to prove they've had the jab and one thing and another, and that'll come into it. And I don't think Thailand, I think the days of coming here, getting 30 days at the airport and just coming with your ticket in your suitcase, I think them days are finished, mate. I think it's going to be hoops, jumping through hoops again.
The thing is, of course, for foreigners like us who are from the UK over here, and a lot of foreigners that, of course, are in Thailand itself, I mean, there's no backup plan here for us. There's no, it's just us and it's what we've got and that's it. And even for the Thais, I mean, we spoke, I spoke to my wife's mother a couple of days ago, and like I said on a previous show, £12.50 a month. Don't go pretty far, does it, from the government? And that's what they get.
The Thais put the price up, not down, in a lot of ways.
Well, they do.
To cover.
They do.
They think that's the way they're going to cover, their problems. But as we know, in a lot of businesses, it doesn't work that way. I mean, you can just see in Pattaya, like when we had the long weekend, there was all the traffic. Loigaton, there was about half a dozen people on the beach. In different stages. Normally, Pattaya Beach, you've got 100 people selling croutons, what they've made, and people are making money that way. It's dead, mate. Dead as a door now.
We went to the floating market, didn't we, Bobby?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, you like that. You've not been there before, though.
First time.
So I've been to the floating market most years, and I said to Bobby, I said you in the car park, didn't I?
What was it like?
It was okay. It was okay. But I said to him, you see you here? You see all the gaps you can see? Normally there's 500, there's 1,000 people down here. All the stores were there. There was a lot of stores there. There was quite a few people. 99.9% of them, of course, were Thai. But compared to the years before, I would say at least 70% down, compared to what it was. But it was still nice. But the actual feeling from when you talk to my friends like I know, Thai friends, they just don't see a solution. They see a survival, which is going back home and doing what they did before they came here, live off the land, grow things and do what they do, because they're survivors. With people like us, the foreigners here, we're set in our ways, in a way, like, I do the media.
We can't go back 100 years, mate.
We can't go back.
No.
Where, my wife and people like that can just do it in the flick of a switch, which we can't. We can't go around hitting girls over the head with clubs and going out and, actually
we used
really.
to. You forget that now.
And finding a few bears. Dragging her down the stairs with her hair, saying, "Come on, love, tonight's the night."
I'll let you with that rubber one.
What about UK passports? I mean, how's that? I mean, how's that going? Why are you saying
tricky,
ooh?
mate.
You say ooh every time I ask you a question now.
Mate. Everything's tricky now.
Is it?
Well, they decided to send one of these, standard emails out that they do to everybody who's ordered a UK passport, saying it's going to take 8 weeks. This was even to people that have had them on order for 5 weeks already. Yeah, so that caused quite a lot of rubbish. I mean, we had one customer. They sent him an email on the Friday, and his passport come back on the Monday. Yeah, so they haven't got it together, mate. The big problem they've got now is that this lockdown will slow things down, I think, because even the merchandise, even the merchant carriers that are coming in, DHL, if there's anything coming from the UK, every single wrapper's getting scanned for COVID because they believe COVID can live on envelopes and stuff, so which. I mean, I don't know. What do you do? Take the temperature of a fucking envelope, yeah?
How much?
I don't know how it works.
How much do you think of this? How much do you think of this is actually rumor, made up rumor, not true? How much do you think, Bobby?
99.
About COVID?
Yeah, about the whole situation. I mean, we're in a movie now. This is a movie we're in now at the moment.
More people die from tuberculosis. More people die from motorcycle deaths. More people die from influenza. This is their moment. This is their excuse to do this reset crackdown.
Well, it's funny last night because I was watching Netflix and I've been watching that Blacklist, yeah.
Good. I started to watch it, by the way.
I don't know when it was made, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. But in this case that we're watching now with Reddington, yeah, they start going on about this guy who's making this biological virus. Okay, which could start a pandemic and kill half of the world. I'm thinking,
sounds familiar.
They know something. Well, this fucking 3 years ago.
Sounds familiar.
And they made this. And like Bobby said, a lot of films have been made over the years with disasters like this being in.
They're priming our subconscious pump.
Yeah, there's a lot of deja vu in the back. If you look back in time.
Yeah,
there's a lot of deja vu. People saying there's going to be a virus. It's going to be in 2020, and it's going to wipe out this and do this. I mean, there's a lot of history there.
The stress levels at the moment, I think, for foreigners here, is massive. It's huge. Not just business owners, but people who work for businesses. It's very difficult when you set up your life here. You set up with a family, you got kids, and then all of a sudden everything just goes. What are you going to do? How do you fight it? Like you said, there's no backup here. You can't go running to the social.
Well, there isn't.
There's just nothing.
And even I know some people that have been online and saying they're stuck here and tried to get help from the UK. No.
Not interested.
Not interested.
No.
Not interested.
And unfortunately, people out here or the UK haven't got the money to lend them to go back.
No.
Because they're fighting themselves.
And as soon as you say you've been here for longer than 6 months, they don't want to know you anyway.
That's right, correct.
It's just like, how long you been here? Oh, well, I've been here now for 22 years now. Sorry, can't help you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, finished.
This is an automated message.
Yeah.
Please leave your name and number after the tone. Beep. We won't get back to you. That's all you get now.
Yeah, we can't pay for your ticket.
No. But the only thing is, of course, here. I mean, the worst situation that anybody can face here, of course, is deportation. Yeah, which they would take them from here. They would take them to the airport. They would still, I believe, from going on past reference, have to pay some overstay. Yes, if they haven't got the visa and it's run out. If they haven't got the visa and it's run out, they have to pay the overstay. Plus, they have to wait for certain deportee flights. That's correct, isn't it?
Correct.
So, but they still have to pay for the flight as well. So they're in a bit of a dilemma.
Oh, definitely. And if you haven't got the money to go home, you're stuck in the IDC, Immigration Detention Centre, until you get money.
Yeah, sure.
They'll just let you wither away, mate. It's they don't want you there because they don't want to feed you. And they don't want to look after you, but they certainly won't pay for your flight ticket.
No. I mean, I know from future reference that they're not going to be doing that. I mean, what about the expats club itself? I mean, you were there last Friday, yes?
Last Friday, yeah.
How did that go?
It was great. I mean, we was in the new beach view room at the Amari, which used to be the old restaurant at the front. What was its name?
That was a sports bar thing, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah. But they bought it, and then they've turned it into a function room now.
Okay.
Function room. Beautiful, mate.
That was a nice room before when it was the restaurant.
Oh, mate, it's nice now. It's nice now.
Is it?
Beautiful. It's all been painted white and it's bright, and so we're trying to keep that room now.
That's what I was going to ask you. I mean, do you think that would be a suitable room to keep?
Perfect.
Okay.
And what they've got at the back as well, they've got like a divider. So if you need more tables, they just open the divider and it turns into twice the size of the room.
I would have thought that's probably and they're doing a deal on that one for you, looking after you.
We are in good
negotiations
with them at the moment. Yeah. But it's a good time to get the Expat Club at the moment, as I keep telling people, because on the Christmas show, which is the 18th, they are raffling off a brand new motorbike.
I've seen that. I've seen Neil's had posted it on a few places. A red one was on there. Is that the right colour?
A Falano, correct?
Is it a red one?
Yeah.
What is it?
A Falano,
Falano. Oh, the scooter.
The little...
Like the little Lambretto things.
Yeah. I mean, it's an expensive bike. I mean, worth about 50,000 baht. So, it's not to be sniffed at for free.
And how do you get the chance to win that?
There's not just that. There's also going to be loads of other little prizes as well, perfume for your wife and stuff like that, and like tickets to go to Chiang Mai, hotels in Chiang Mai, and all over the place. So it's going to be a really good day.
Donated, Darren? Donated by people?
Me.
No, I mean, yeah, okay, but I mean, you're not the only person donating prizes, are you?
At the moment.
Why? What do you reckon?
Because it was my idea. The Christmas party wasn't going to be a Christmas party until I turned it into one and said, we need to liven it up a little bit as a sales guy, and we need to, which we're doing now. We've got 6 young ladies on there, and with a little Santa outfits on, and mince pies and sherry, and
we've got some things we can throw in. I've got some watches, and and I've got
not
some,
Mark's.
I knew you were going to say that. No,
You'll love that.
We've got some GoPros in boxes.
Oh, great!
Not the real thing, but
they're just the empty boxes.
Just the boxes. And inside it says, "Look what you could have won." No, but
empty fag packet in the bottom.
The cheaper version of the GoPro. Yeah, we've got a couple of those. We can throw those in. So
brilliant, mate.
Thank you. And there's some wooden statue from Bali things.
Lovely.
Well. So we'll throw them in. You got them?
Oh, brilliant! Thank you for that. Lovely,
is that okay?
Mate. You're great support for the club.
That's okay. We're going to throw them. Is that right, Bobby? We'll throw them in.
Thanks, Dave.
We really appreciate it.
Got a big heart, man.
He has, hasn't he?
No, you're with me as well. It's your half as well.
Okay.
You'll remember that. There's 2 hearts here, mate. Could be a song.
You,
it's great. But yeah, so the 18th is going to be a good day. So as you said, asked me before, how do you get in that to win it?
Yeah.
What we ask people to do is, if you go to the club, you buy a breakfast, okay? To win the motorbike, you have to make yourself a member, which is only 750 baht for 2 years membership. So it's
for 2 years.
For 2 years, okay. So it's not a massive amount of money, to get the chance of winning the bike. Non-members go in the second raffle for the smaller prizes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you just go in there for, you've got to buy a breakfast because it's only breakfast tickets that are going in the draw. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you got the chance of winning a bike and loads of other stuff.
Well, we can put some little bits in as well, can't we? Because it's nice when somebody just gets something. It doesn't have to be a bike. It doesn't have to be expensive. But if they've just got a ticket and they win something,
that's right.
It just adds to the night.
I mean, what's wrong with like 4 days in some fancy hotel and stuff like that? There's nothing wrong with that, is there? No. Expensive perfume and things like that. It's not all rubbish.
And that was it.
It's all good stuff.
Chiang Mai, did you say?
In Chiang Mai.
In Chiang Mai. It's nice in Chiang Mai.
With a lot of the stuff is going to be donated by BizPay.
Okay, good.
Dan Swartz,
yes,
his company. He's helping us out as well.
Good. Well done, Dan.
And Niels Kolov, he's chucking in as well. So it should be a good day. Should be a really good day. And don't touch the girls.
When is this?
The 18th, Friday the 18th.
Friday the 18th of December.
The meeting starts if you get there for about 10:30.
So on the day, let's say people are out there now when they want to come to the expat clubs, which they do, and they can't make it for now. But if they come on the 18th, they can become members on the 18th. Yeah. They can be included into the raffle on the 18th. So actually, it could be a rather good day for them.
It could. Can I just explain how to get there, if you don't mind? It's just easy directions, yeah? So all you do is...
In a car?
Yeah, or a bike. you go past Terminal 21 and you get to the Dolphin Roundabout, yeah? And you go towards Beach Road, Pattaya. Yes. So you go past the first entrance and then there's another little entrance. Okay, on the left,
to the Amari,
left-hand side, to the Amari, to the beachfront. And you'll see the expat signs there. You can park your car. There's car parking. It's only a 5-second walk into the place. As soon as you get inside, we've got sponsors there and doctors who'll do your blood pressure and they'll do your they'll check your blood for you. You know,
Is there anybody there that does? I was going to ask you that. Is there anybody there that does diabetes because of the older people? That is there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But obviously, you don't eat from 12 o'clock the night before you go there. So obviously, do it before you have your breakfast.
That's probably what I'm doing wrong. I'm caning myself before I go there. Now.
Yeah, don't have a Mars bar on your way in.
15 Weetabix and a bacon sandwich. How's it looking, Doc?
You've got a serious problem.
You got a serious problem, hey.
But yeah, it's great. It's gonna, listen. If you're gonna come and live in Thailand, or you live in Thailand, you need to go to these places.
I can't stress how important
you don't live off forums, because there's so much. I'm not saying forums are bad, but there's so much conflicting information on there that you don't know what's right or wrong. Well,
we said it before. It's the Barstool office.
That's it.
Which is wrong. I mean, people. Okay, listen. We're all sitting around a bar. Bobby's at the end. Darren's over here, Dave's over here, and we're all having a ching-mac. Yeah. My mate last week, he got a visa and it was under the table and he paid $1,000 for it, mate. You want to get one of them?
Yeah.
Well, if you can get that, mate, can we have 100 now, please? It don't exist. We know that it doesn't exist, but this is the way it goes, isn't it?
Correct. And at least there you're going to get the right information. I'm the visa advisor there, so anything that, if I'm not there, Brian Max is there. He knows everything. They do an open forum if anybody wants to ask a question. If you're a bit shy and you don't want to pick up the mic, you can go and ask one of the guys after.
Did you speak last week?
No, I was doing a bit of directing and stuff. And
you ain't been getting your lollipop out again, have you? You're not trying to go back into your old trade again, are you? Where the lollipop lady is here.
I do get a little bit narc sometimes, But
yeah.
But again, they've run in a certain way for a long time. And
you've got
it's hard. I've got to give them time to change. That's all.
That's it. You've got to understand these people have been creating and doing good deeds from day one and helping people a lot. Yeah, and they've had their certain
thousands,
ways. Thousands. Yeah. And they've had their certain ways of doing things. And when they get a new face come back in again, or an old face to step in the door again and say, right, okay, guys, let's do this, this, and this. Of course, you're going to get a little bit of sort of like resistance from it. But you're that kind of man. You're okay. You can persuade people. You can look after people.
The people there are quite mild and meek, and I'm more of a bull in a china shop. So, sometimes it's...
I don't believe that.
Yeah, so... but I'm out there. I want to see things change. I want to see the club better. I want to see it stronger. By next year, I want to see it a lot healthier and a lot more members. But again, we're starting at grassroots. Changing the standard things that you would expect to happen first, as we've spoke about many times, But, we're on the way, we're doing well. The sales side's going well, and I think we'll do okay.
And the new side is up and working now, no?
Well, it's being built. It's being built at the back now, yes.
Because I seen something the other day, if you can probably just correct me on this. I seen the new site. It was online, and it was expat/WordPress, and it was online. You could actually see that. Were they testing that, or what? Do you know? Do you know anything on that?
No, that is actually the one they've got on now.
Okay, all right. Okay, interesting.
The people that are building it will be contacting you soon, because, like we said, we've got the new domain.
Right.
Okay, what we spoke about.
Yes,
so they'll be contacting you soon.
Okay.
And then probably either keeping it on your server or putting it on their server while they build on top of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not going to take long to build an expat site, because there's only so much you can put on it and easy update it. But like I said, we're going to have, like Bobby's got the live chat on there for people asking questions, so you can help them straight away.
Which is so essential.
Yeah, a suggestions box, like you said, that's going to go on there. Every interview on a weekly basis, for each meeting is going to be uploaded every week from YouTube.
I don't think even Bobby, having one page on the site, that, having 20 little boxes that you can sort of tick and say, what would you like to see more of, or what would you like to see, whatever, and people can just tick them. And
even YouTube
it.
do surveys.
Absolutely.
Look how look at the size of them people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you'll be watching. You want to listen to a song, and they'll say, "Oh, just answer this quick question for me."
It is so important, though, Bobby, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really important to find out what people want.
It's feedback in it, Dave. And if you don't get feedback, you don't improve.
No.
And that's it.
I mean, you may be putting red out there for the last 10 years, but you do a survey and everybody says, yeah, but we'd like to see black.
Correct.
What do? You change it. That's it. You've got to go with it. And of course,
it was funny last week because we're in this new room, right? I mean, it's brilliant white. I mean, you imagine it's like, whoa, and everything's like brand new, brand spanking new. And one of the members said to me, he says, I'm not really keen on this room. He says, it's a bit bright. I says, I'll bring you some sunglasses next week. He said, you can wear them.
you said.
Yeah, I thought, you can't. And it's like you said, you can't make everybody happy.
You can't please everybody.
I mean, the old room was dingy, the ballroom that they was trying to get, but this new room is like, wow, it's like walking into a house for sale that's 5 years old and then walking into a brand new house that's immaculate. Right. Perfect. So that's what we're fighting for at the moment.
So if you get that room, that'll be sort of like the one, yeah?
Well, yeah, because like I said, when I give you directions before, no disrespect for the older generation, if you're on a BART bus, it's literally you get off the bus and you don't have to walk not even 30 seconds and you're straight into the room. There's car parking for about 30, 50 cars outside this little room. And it's great. It's great for the older generation.
Sounds as though this is the right shed.
It's getting me...
is it getting you...
when you get
going,
yeah, when your balls go,
when you
one of them. When they shrivel, that's not just with the aircon. That's not the aircon in here. Yeah, roasting today.
It's the calm before the storm.
Is that what it is? Yeah,
the calm before the storm. Where do you see, like, when we talk about visas, which we do in the past, and everything that's happening with visas? I mean, just out off the top of your head. I mean, this is not sort of fact, but where do you see the visas going? What kind of visa do you think? For example, let's take the tourist that's going to come to Thailand. Eh? Where do you see the tourist visa going?
Okay, I think at the moment nowhere. I think my honest opinion is that Thailand are very cleverly, like everybody else, stringing it out as long as they can, month by month, until China or America or somebody comes up with this vaccine. Then they will ship it in, they'll give it to everybody, and then that'll be it. Everybody will be happy.
Okay.
But as Bobby knows, it could take another 4 months, 6 months, 8 months before that happens. But that's the only way that these countries are going to be satisfied. It's all right saying, we're going to give you a tourist visa, but you've got to jump through 30 hoops and have a COVID test 64 times before you even get off the plane. Nobody's going to do it, and they don't want you to do it, Dave. So the people that are managing to get here now have got families. They're coming on the non-immigrant O visa, 90 days, and they're having to prove their family ties to Thailand. They've got kids, or they're married, or they're on a retirement visa, and they've got property here. Because I don't know whether you know, but the start of October, people were leaving on a retirement visa. And when they was trying to book through the consulate to get back, because you have to go on what they call a wish list, to make sure you've got all the documents. They're saying, well, you can't come back on that visa, it's a retirement. So what visa do I need? Well, you need a retirement OA visa. It's the fucking same thing. So then you have to go through all these people that have gone through the aggro getting a retirement, have to then get an OA visa at their embassy or consulate in their own country. But that stopped. Somebody put a stop to that and said, hang on a minute, this is naughty. So people who've got a retirement visa can go out now and can come back in on the same visa. But they still have to go through the same quarantine and showing accommodation and everything else.
So guys, if the man, both of you, if the man with the green switch tomorrow flicks the switch and goes, right, that's it, we're open. Open the doors, open the planes, open everything. We are now open for business. How easy are they going to make it, Bobby, Darren, for people, tourists, people, visitors, wherever you want business, anything? How easy have they got to make it to let the people come back without any fuss, so they can just go from there and step in and away you go? How easy are they going to make it? Because at the moment, nobody sort of knows what's happening, no?
Thailand, to me, I don't know if Bobby feels the same. They're edging towards a more, shall we say, don't take this the wrong way, guys, are you watching, please, because I could be wrong. But they're trying to get away from the sexpat industry, and they're trying to go for the more affluent foreigner.
Family,
tourists.
especially with Disney World coming in.
Yeah, tourists with plenty of money, Chinese businessmen, Asian businessmen. This is what they're trying to do. This is what they're looking at now. They're trying to get away from the side that they've been known for.
But there will always be that side to it.
Well, of course.
In some shape or form.
Yeah, but it's not just in Thailand, is it?
No, it's
Every other
worldwide.
Asian country's got it.
Yeah, but it's worldwide. In Amsterdam, and they've got boxes. They put them in them, and they pay VAT and tax and everything on them, and the government make a fortune. Why?
But Thailand's just made it so easy, though, haven't they? That's
exactly.
the thing,
But just look at this from if you were sitting in a government place, and just sitting there at the table, and you went, "Hang on, this happens in Thailand. We know that it does. How can we make it legitimate? How can we make money from this legitimate and make it work?" Okay, because now, CBD oil, TBC oil, the marijuana oil, that has now come into Thailand. That is now legal to buy in Thailand. Why can't they do the sex trade and make it legal and make it nice? And everybody would be happy, no?
Okay, it's not the Buddhist way. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm not saying it.
there's a lot of people that close one eye. Like they do in Bangkok. You think it's rife here. We've got a few streets, of girls and we've got a lot on face. But you go to Bangkok, mate, some of these soapy places got 400 girls working in them. As we know, how many thousands and
Do you have
thousands...
the numbers out, by the way?
How many thousands and thousands of girls, when COVID first kicked in, started coming back from Korea and China and
They had to.
Singapore and working
choice.
everywhere, mate.
Yeah.
Thousands of the hookers,
Yeah.
And that's the job they was doing. Now they've come back here to absolute nothing. No job, no available jobs. Going up eating sometime back up in the home. Yeah. That's it. They
adapt.
They can do it. They can adapt. Okay. Luckily for them, there's still things like Facebook, Twitter, all these things, Instagram, whatever you want to do, and some girls are still getting followed by the partners. So they're making a few quid that way.
But the numbers have considerably dropped off the girls that are making any money.
Mega.
Come on, it's mega. That is.
Well,
and the knock-on effect is massive.
I'll tell you what would be interesting, very interesting, to ask Western Union what the figure is now since COVID kicked in for money coming to Thailand now.
What do you think it would be? Less?
Before? Oh, it'd be Mate, there were billions of baht coming in via Western Union.
And now you think?
Billions.
And now you think?
Well, it's in millions.
Yeah, interesting.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
But it's their lifeline, isn't it? It's their lifeline at the moment.
They've the girls. Most of them don't really want to do the job.
Exactly.
And they don't do the job because they want to do it. They do it because they've got to survive. Because
Absolutely.
there's nothing else out there for them.
Correct.
Because the difference in wealth between haves and haves not is the largest in Thailand than any other country in the world.
Yep. Top or bottom.
The gap. That's it. You've either got fuck all or you're
Absolutely.
loaded.
Absolutely.
Yep. So there's nothing like job centres. There's nothing like that. If you want to work at Big C, you need to have gone to university and stuff like that. And these girls are, whoa, hang on, my family didn't have the money. So what do I do? She got a couple of kids to look after. She goes and does what she needs to do. The lucky ones get a decent guy. Some of them try it out, don't like it. So, there's many different scenarios, but I do feel that if this carries on, I think by January, February, the place is going to crumble, mate.
Is the marriage visa still going well, or is it still? Are you still getting requests for that?
People are talking about it, but again, people in the UK are very, very, they're worried about their own jobs. Without paying a lot of money to the government for a visa and then having the responsibility of looking after the girlfriend or the wife when they go over there,
Bobby, what was your uptake? Sorry, what was your uptake on being an American? I mean, what did you hear at first about Pattaya? What was your what did you hear? Did you hear that it was the sex trade capital? Did you hear that it was the nightlife capital? I mean, what did you hear originally, being from America?
Well, I passed through Bangkok on my way to India, and I heard about Pattaya being that, when I first came through Thailand in 1999.
99.
On the way to India.
And you was never intrigued to sort of jump down there and have a look?
I was with my girlfriend, so I went right through to India.
Oh, yeah, you got the cold with you, yeah.
You know, I talked to a couple of Thais the other day, and they said something very interesting, to me. They said that Pattaya is mainly, or previously, was mainly for the Thais without any money.
Okay,
and places like Hua Hin and these places were for the Thais with money. You see a lot of Thais travelling here, there and everywhere, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai from Bangkok. They're the people with the great jobs in Bangkok with the money. But no disrespect, the people with no money come here.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you understand what I mean? Okay. And that's why in the department stores they don't have Louis Vuitton and they don't have Rolex and all these places, They don't have any brand names really come here and set up.
What do you think the population is in Pattaya, or what the population was in Pattaya?
136,000.
You're close. What do you think, Bobby?
Yeah, 125.
Yeah, I mean, latest figures 119,000 was prior COVID.
Did you know that, when the government, they send money to the AMPA every year, okay, they base that on what we call the Tabiambang, which is the household registration, on how many people are registered in the AMPA of Chonburi.
Okay.
That's how they decide how much money they give to repair the roads, to do this, to do that. Anything else, like digging up Pattaya Thai and all that sort of stuff, is all an extra contract. Okay. So when you've got 2 million people, as it was before, living in Pattaya and working every night and stuff, this is why they couldn't cope. There wasn't enough police. There wasn't. The roads were, they dug the roads up. 5 minutes later, they're hooking holes in them.
Yeah.
Because there's that much traffic, which they weren't. They don't get paid to repair.
Well, we said that. I mean, Pattaya being the fishing village that it was, and it was the Navy stopover, and originally, of course, then suddenly they started building the hotels, building places where to stay, and they built all these houses and hotels and all this. But of course, what they forgot to do was build the infrastructure. So they sort of did it arse tit round, didn't they? They didn't build the roads and the drains and everything first, then start building the buildings. They did it.
The water pipes are too
around.
small. There's not enough water flow. Like you said, the drainage pipes are too small. We have big rain, 2, 3, 4 times. It washes the beach away. So it's costing them millions in sand.
Yeah, I mean, that was it was a bit crazy, that, because they spent all those millions on bringing the sand in that time, made it nice. The beach looked great for a day.
Yeah.
And then it was gone.
Well, they dug Beach Road up. You remember? It was a fucking mess. You remember?
Yeah.
And now they're doing it again. They want to make it nicer again. And a friend of mine, he had an engineering company, and 2 years ago, he put a proposition to City Hall about and he's done it in other countries, Holland and stuff. And what they build is a barrier system, so which can be controlled from anywhere that's needed. And what happens is it's built in the pavement. So if you get high water levels, there's sensors, and it automatically comes out the floor slowly on motors, and it stops the water from draining out and then makes the drains do the job. And from one end of Beach Road to the other end, it was worked out something like 100 million baht, which is 2 million quid, which isn't a massive amount of money for a big job like that. No, it won't work. No, it won't work. But your fucking underground toilets will, won't it? You see that?
Yeah.
They're building underground toilets on Beach Road. So what happens when it pisses down? I mean, we are stood having a shit, and next thing a typhoon comes in. You know what I mean? What's that with that?
There's a few YouTubers.
Bleeding shark comes in. It was my toilet roll.
Oh, look, Petunia is waving. There's a submarine. Yeah, but I get what you're saying. I mean, a lot of people, one thing that did surprise me, right, was the underpass. Okay, there was lots of talk about that in the past. Of course, there was all that that palaver about when it opened and that. But the one thing that it hasn't done, of course, is flooded,
No.
which everybody thought that it would.
Yeah.
But it hasn't. I mean, they have, where the water's going and it's draining down Pattaya Klang and that, we've seen it coming out down there at tons and tons of speed. But actually, in all fairness, and give them their credit, I mean, it's working, I think.
Yeah. Because it's an optical illusion. Do you know it's actually flat? The underpass?
No.
It's flat, mate. It's not curved as you think it is. It's an optical illusion, yeah, exactly. And I'll tell you how I know. I'm not an engineer, but a very, very good friend of mine is, and he works for a massive Thai company, and they built the first airport, Suvarnabhumi, and they built the second one, Sat One, that's not open yet, and all sorts of hotels in Bangkok and stuff. So he knows his onions. I mean, I asked him, he said, if their company had done it, the underpass, it had took 4 months. And you remember it took, 2 years?
Yeah, and the rest, yeah.
And, I mean, they were digging the hole with fucking holes, weren't they? You remember? And it was prehistoric, mate. It were prehistoric stuff they were using to build it. And like you said, it took that long.
I can never get, this is something that I can't get. I mean, this is just something that being sort of like in the past doing building and things like that. Now you've got a flat road, okay, and they want to put drains in, okay? So they do all the concrete shaft and they put all the steel rods out the road, but it's a foot higher than the road is. Then they send everybody around to cut them off. Yeah, so they have to spend like a day going around and cutting the tops off of all the concrete and all the metal things, and then putting more concrete in to make it flat to the road. I mean, why don't they just? It's only me talking. I mean, why don't they just make them the same level to start with? It just seems as though it's one. You remember what they used to say? How many people does it? How many people does it take to put a light bulb in? 1 to hold the bulb and 3 to spin the room round. It's that kind of thing.
It's like council work, isn't it? One dig in the hole and 97 people round watching.
They do though, don't they? In the UK, that's so bad for that.
But I mean, what scares me is these underground power lines they're putting in. I mean, if the electric goes or one of these lines shocks you, how long is it going to take them to fix it? And how are they going to know where it is? That's what scares me. You could be out of electric for 3-4 weeks while you're waiting for them to find it. Whereas at least with it being open, especially in a, like my friend said, at least in a countries like this,
at least you know
where
where
you've got the humidity,
Yeah.
and the heavy monsoon rains. I mean, what's going to happen when it pisses down?
But at least you can find where the fault is here, can't you? Oh, there it is.
Well, did you see the floods in was it Korat? And the school teachers walking around fucking classrooms with water up to the neck like that, and I'm thinking, how high are the plugs? Yeah. And there was one picture, I remember it was on Channel 3 TV a couple of years ago when we had really bad floods, yeah? And they've got 3 kids and the mum and dad sat round a table, all with their legs in the water and the TV on the table. And I'm thinking, fucking thick can you get? It's unbelievable.
It's
and
unbelievable.
This is on national television. Nobody's picked it up. Yeah.
It's what can we say? I mean, it's just anyway.
Anyway, let's talk about that American who nearly lost his life here because of Facebook.
Yeah,
what do you think about that guy?
That was
I have no idea about the story.
The shooting range guy.
No, I'm talking about the guy who
Stole
wrote about the government on Facebook and they was going to deport him, but now they've decided not to.
Really?
Which is very, very strange for them.
Go on,
because,
tell us, please.
Is it is it American or French? I think it could be French. Sorry. He's when the junta first took over, they had this song on. Every night we're gonna get we're tired and we're gonna find a beat and all this, yeah. And he made his own version.
Ah, okay, I know the story.
And he stood in front of like the pictures of all the the badges,
He made
and
his
he made
YouTube
the
video.
song. But now he's been taking the piss out of these protesters and the royals and everything else. You know, the people you really
Shouldn't
even think about, never mind talk about. You know.
Yeah.
And somebody's complained, and obviously the police have copped
He
it.
didn't learn his first lesson. He's going for a second version.
Yeah, and they've let him off, which is very strange.
Very strange.
Normally, you'd either go to court and get a sentence for something like that, or you get deported, and they've asked him to remove it, and he's okay.
Do you think? I mean, they're trying at the moment to do. I mean, we don't want to really go there, but they're trying at the moment to try and do everything diplomatically.
I think he's quite lucky that what's going on at the moment is going on.
Yeah, sure.
Otherwise, I think his ass would have been out the door.
Yeah, I do as well.
If it had been a year ago.
I do as well. 224, 213 at the moment, Bobby still. That's what it is. He wins Ohio again, it says. So, I mean, if that means something to you.
He did. Trump won Ohio.
Yeah. It's just coming on there on my feed. So I'm just trying to look at things. I mean, do the when we said about the visas for people traveling as tourists to Thailand. I mean, what about? Do you think that they will still carry on in Thailand with the B and the work permit side of it, or do you think that will change as well for ease?
Ease?
Yeah, ease. Not
as in the.
No, not them. Not them. Ease
the windows, the painting windows.
No, I mean, do you think that? Do you think there will be? Do you think there will be a visa shake-up? Let me put it that way.
Not internally.
Okay.
I think my feeling is they're happy with the way things are done internally. I think they're happy with the rules. I don't think they could make them any more difficult than what they currently are. I don't think they've got enough room to store the paper that they ask for at the moment. So I think we'll be okay within Thailand. I don't think there's anything to overly concern yourself about. It's people coming here. Okay. At the moment, they're scared, and why? In a way, you can understand that. They don't want egg on their face. Okay. They don't want to open the doors, let thousands of tourists in. Next thing, their own people are coming down with this so-called virus, the flu. Yeah. And blaming it on COVID, and then the government gets a bad name. At the moment, what the government don't want is shit on the face. And the last thing they want is COVID to cause that.
Absolutely.
So at the moment, with what's going on here and going on around the world and the American election and one thing and another, they're just going to bide the time.
Yeah, I think they will. Do you think they will, Bobby?
I have a question.
This side of Christmas, I don't think anything will happen.
I have a question. How many expats currently live in Thailand?
In Thailand?
Yes.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Estimate.
I don't have to estimate. I believe there's 115,000 retired people. That's not just here. That's all over. All over Thailand. All over Thailand. Yeah.
So, talking about what you're talking about right now in terms of the vaccine coming in and that bridge that we're going to have to cross when they announce, if they announce, when they announce, who knows?
You're going to have to make your choice, Bob.
Yeah. So the whole visa itinerary is going to change.
Well, yeah, you could be right, but I think it'll only be adding that piece of paper. Will it be a certificate from the hospital to say that you've.
But there's going to be people who want to cooperate and take the vaccine, and there's people who are going to go, no effing way. And then that's going to be a point where people are going to have to go, okay, well, the government's going to go, okay, well, we're going to kick your butt out of the country now.
Correct.
So,
well, they're going to say, well, if it's good enough for our people, it's good enough for you. And if you don't want to take it, then we don't want you here.
Yeah.
We're even though we forget we're guests here. We're a guest. It's like if this is your house and you don't like what somebody's saying, you're going to kick his ass out the door.
Absolutely.
Yeah? And that's how they feel.
Yeah.
They don't have to like us.
Yeah.
Just because we spend a few quid every month.
Exactly.
I mean, don't take this the wrong way, but what we spend as expats and retirees here is a pimple on a gorilla's ass, mate.
Absolutely.
It's nothing. You've got 67 million people here. There's only 115,000 probably expats. Maybe let's say there's 150 altogether, 1,000 together. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely nothing to their economy at the moment. I mean, they're losing trillions, we know, on people coming, but they know they can bide the time. They know it's going to come back because for whatever's happening now, Thailand is a beautiful country.
And they're still building. They're still building. They're still doing the roads. They're still making the infrastructure right. They're still cleaning up. They're clean. So they're getting all these.
Maybe this is the plan, Dave.
Maybe
they think to themselves, well, hang on a minute. We've got all this going on in Bangkok with the protesters. We've got the COVID situation. Why don't we just close doors, get all the infrastructure work done we can while it's quiet, and then boom, when we're ready to open again, maybe next year when the vaccine, is available, then we're going to make a fortune again.
Well, somebody isn't there? They've already. I think there's a company now that's pledged $1 billion or something towards a new vaccine that's somewhere has already been.
Well, the British embassies, they actually put on their site that the British vaccine, I think it's Pfizer is going to do it, or somebody like that, is going to be manufactured and distributed from here.
Interesting.
Wow.
Which I can't get my head around that. Whoever's made that deal, I mean, I can't. But it was from the British embassy. Yeah.
From Thailand.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So whether they're trying to distribute it out to other countries from Thailand onwards, not the UK, obviously, but the Thailand are going to have the. So it doesn't sound like the British government have got any problems with them whatsoever. No. Otherwise they wouldn't have give Thais the green light to just walk into the UK with no quarantine and or anything else
and go for it. But I think I agree with Bobby. I think that the visas in the future, when it comes to tourist visa, retirement visa, marriage visa,
the game is going to change.
I think you're going to have one of these certificates at the side of it.
Yeah.
If you haven't got one and you don't want to take it and you haven't got the vaccine, then I think they're just going to say bye-bye.
And like Bobby said, in the future, he's a technophobe. Maybe in the future they might go onto some digital system. Barcodes here and barcodes there and one thing and another, and it might be attached to your DNA or what, I don't know. We just don't know what's going on, do we? But whatever it's going to make the country a lot more difficult to be free, because that's what we miss. We miss the freedom.
I've just had a text from somebody. I got to read this because he says, "Here's one for you and the guys in the studio, right up your street." He says, "Your earwax could be the window into mental health. Researchers have now suggested and found out that the earwax that is in your ears can tell from the oily substance that comes out of your ears if you're mental or not." Do we come into that category or something? Thanks for the text, by the way. I mean, but do we come into that category?
What's that got to do with what we're talking about?
I don't know, but somebody's just sent it me. I mean, do they think that we're mental talking about what we're talking or what?
Probably. Can I just say something, Dave?
Sure.
Yeah? I'll say it to the guys that are out there listening, and we're having a bad week because not only are things bad, but they've banned Pornhub over here, guys.
Can you believe that?
They forgot about the rest of them, but Pornhub they've got rid of. They've banned that, so that's really pissed me off this week. But
unless you've got an IP chaser, of course.
Well, obviously, yeah. But the thing I want to say is, as foreigners, we're not enjoying Thailand as it should be enjoyed. We're not going tripping off like we normally would because things are tight.
So what you're saying is you're not having a drive-by now, you're doing self-service.
No, what we're saying is they ain't missing anything.
No.
Don't be sat at home, depressed and think, well, we're missing Thailand this year.
No.
You ain't missing anything, boys. No. Honestly, it's not what you remember.
In fact, if you're at home and you're in the UK or America or wherever you are and you've got Pornhub, you're actually better off than we are.
We're not talking about Pornhub now. I'm talking about...
Well, I disagree. The sun is still shining here in Thailand. It's still a beautiful place, and it's going to get cold in Europe pretty soon in America.
It is.
This is the place to be.
What I'm trying to say, Bob, is that normally it's like, this Christmas, I would normally shoot off to Koh Samui or somewhere, PP or somewhere, and have a real good, relaxing time. Yeah. But things are tight, and I won't be doing that. So, and most foreigners that are here won't be enjoying themselves like they normally do, because even the people on pensions are, because the baht's so low, they're so high against the pound. A lot of the Brits are struggling as well on pensions. So
I think everybody's just thinking twice about what they're doing at the moment. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, they're being very frugal with the money, I think.
Frugal? There's a word for you. Frugal.
It's a real word.
Is that a real word?
It means tight-fisted.
Oh, okay.
Or very careful with your readies.
We got to say hello to Dwayne Tonkin. Thanks for getting into us, Dwayne. He said if Biden is that his name? Biden. Biden. If he says if he wins, he will turn 80 years old while president. So there you go. You'll have an 80-year-old president. I mean, what can we say about that? Michael Buckley, can you post a good location map for your Facebook page? Yes, I will, Michael. We'll sure we get that on. So we've got to say hello to that. He says hello to us as well on air. So thanks a lot for joining us on air. There's a few people coming from there. Also, we've got to say people that are going to send us emails. Got a couple of people that want to know stuff. Jonathan, Ricky, Mako, Tim, Danny, and Jerry and Andy. They want some information on some visas, so we'll give them your. We'll give him your email, of course. And Robert and Robbie, they both say that, yes, the visas will change, and also it could be self-implantations. So there we go.
Self-implantation.
Yeah, the
digital IDs.
The digital IDs that you have in here, and we come to you and we say, "Hi, Darren. We want."
That's what I just said.
We want,
it could be attached to your DNA. We just don't know.
We don't know, but we could come in. We could sort of like, I want a new visa. We have to scan a machine in your shop.
Yeah, I personally think that's where we're headed, but I don't like talking about that stuff because it gets people really depressed, man.
Yeah. I mean, I went into Tesco Lotus the other day, and they've got like a face scanning machine. Have you seen that? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether they just test your temperature or what, but it was like a face recognition thing, you know.
Well, they do have that. They have it in China because I've been there and I've seen it working, and they do have it in Norway. And I mean, Norway is the thumbprint, the face, and everything. So it's gaining. It can be used in a very good way, and it can be used in a very bad way.
Well, the police in China have got them fancy helmets, haven't they?
Yeah.
That tells them everything. Mm. They can look at a person. It just tells them the temperature, what the name is, where they stay, everything. It's fantastic.
What do you reckon to that? Well, we're not going to get him going because he gets to the end.
Don't get me going.
He loves it.
So regarding
his temperature's rising,
I don't love it.
Some hell's rising under there. Yeah. Talk about megabytes.
The temperature's rising at the end of the table. I have to rev him up, and then he just goes for it. That's it, don't you, Bob? So, visas. Any more information on that, or on the Expats Club?
Visas. The sad part is, I get a lot of emails from guys that are working in countries in Africa and stuff where they really haven't got any sort of way of getting these COVID tests done or buying the insurance and things like that, They've got nowhere to get the STV or the non-immigrant visa. So we're saying to them, look, you're going to have to fly to another country, maybe in Europe, go to your closest consulate and, look on the website before, make sure you can get hold of the documentation and that'll give you visas to come to Thailand. But these tend to be people that are not tourists, these are people that have got families. So they're working offshore in Nairobi or wherever they're working, and there's some shitholes out there where people work, mate, and but like I said, used to be easy for them to just come in on a 30-day visa and get an extension if they needed it, but them days are finished now. They're gone.
Okay, I'm just going on to the Expats website at the moment. All the information's there. Tells you all about where you are, when you are, and how you are, and how you can get to you, of course. Lots of information on there. That, as we say, they're you're sort of like fine-tuning it ready for the new site, aren't you?
Yes.
So it's on Fridays?
It's every Friday. When it's not Songkran and times like that, we're trying to have a meeting every Friday. There's a newsletter goes out. If you can sign up for the newsletter on the site. It tells you what time, who's speaking on the day, how much the membership is, how much the breakfast is if you want a breakfast, what time it starts, what time it finishes. It tells you about the open forum. They have a lucky draw every week, pretty much where people can win a prize, so the website is a good tool.
It is. I was just looking on there, a lot of information. Anything else before we say goodbye? God bless today. I mean, what can we say? Are you okay? Is there anything we've missed out that you want to chuck in the show? You're pretty okay, are you? Bobby, and you? Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I tell you what.
Hey, he was just about to say something, and then he stepped in. Let him say it. Go say it.
I'm not okay. I'm having a moment here.
Go on, do it. Do it, say it.
Oh, I'm just a little, today was, with the whole election, it was a little intense, and I'm feeling sad about what you shared with me earlier that we're not going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And it's been an intense day, so I'm just being a little honest.
But the voting's not finished over yet, is it?
It's not finished.
Will that finish today though?
This could go on for a while, actually.
You mean they're still counting? Was that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they're also printing ballots right now. They got the printing machines out, and they're printing ballots, and it's kind of that kind of operation right now. The Democrats want to win. They want to win.
Who do you want to win, though?
I want Trump to stay as president.
I do as well.
Because he said to me something like, I don't agree everything with what Trump's done, and he had this, and but out everybody, he's the best. Yeah? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
I like him. I think
like him. He's a great ambassador. I mean, people say he's an idiot. How can you be an idiot when you're a billionaire? He's lost it and made it again. That doesn't make you an idiot, mate.
Who was that lady that sat opposite him and she did an interview and she went, right, well, Mr. Trump, you owe $450 million. That's really bad, isn't it? And he went, that's change. She went, what do you mean it's change? She went, it's $450 million. Yeah, but that's just change. It's a little bit of money. And she's trying to make a big thing of it. And Trump just goes, well, I've got a couple of buildings down the road there, a few $100 billion that's all paid for and they belong to me. So I think it's covered, darling. So shut up and carry on.
Yeah. Have you seen that video he's done on TikTok or where he's on stage dancing? Have you seen brilliant, mate. I mean, you won't catch anybody else doing that. But I feel he moves with the times, Trump. You wouldn't have caught Obama doing anything like that. He'd be too rigid. It was a fucking stick up his ass, yeah? Trump isn't a puppet. He says it as he is. He's straight. He's a straight guy. He says, all right, he's maybe too straight. I mean, they had to take Twitter off him, didn't they? Because he was calling fucking Chinese and everything, But the guy just saying what he wants to say.
They said that his last name Trump was the sound that everybody made as he got into office. Yes, they all shit themselves.
Yeah, he's not the most.
Well, anyway, whatever. Let's wish him good luck, and we hope that he wins from our side. Anyway, I wish that he wins, and Bobby does. I'm sure he does. And you're all for him, aren't you? So
I think he's great.
There you go, unanimous. So it's America 1, America 234, and Pattaya 1. So we're doing well.
Like I said, for the guys out there, don't rush to come back, boys. You're not missing anything, really.
No, not just yet.
Not just yet. No, we'll keep you informed when it's gearing up again.
It's trickling in at the moment, and it will trickle in different ways. And I'm sure not in the too distant future. I personally think that the sort of into December next month, I think that we will see a slight change. That's my personal opinion and what we've sort of been fed on information. But I mean, we can't clarify anything on that. But I think that Pattaya at the Christmas time will lift up a little bit.
I heard some news about the Russians and the Chinese coming in terms of the government of Thailand letting the Russians and the Chinese in. Did you hear anything about that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. No, I've done nothing from my sources. Not yet.
Okay.
But all I can say is, mate, if the vaccine come next week, and it meant we could get away from this nightmare. Everybody's in at the moment, yeah. Stick it in me. That's it. I don't give a shit if it's got antennas on it, mate. If it tells people all my intimate details, I don't care. It just people are getting so sick of it now. They just want to get back to. We just want to get back to how we live our life. We want tourists to come back. We want people to come back. We want smiles on people's faces again.
South Korea's been. They have a whole program happening right now up there, and 60 people over the last few weeks have died from the vaccine.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and they're starting to recall their whole program right now. Yeah.
Well, I think that who's the guy that's just coming, the Nigerian president, or somebody's just come into to Thailand and he's got COVID.
I see.
Yes.
Nigerian president. Yeah.
Yeah. Something. While you're talking, let me just get an update on that because somebody sent me some information on that. I mean, sure. But let's just we got to listen. We have to think positive.
You got to think positive. I mean, Thailand, COVID's what? One in cases of ones and twos, not tens of thousands like in Europe and America. we haven't got any. I still haven't met anybody after all this time with COVID, or who's had COVID, or died of COVID.
Do you know
I still
of
don't know.
I don't know either.
Even now,
Yeah.
after all this time, I still don't know.
I've not heard of anybody.
I heard one guy say at the expats a couple of weeks ago, "Oh, my cousin died of COVID." I'm thinking, well, how do you know it was COVID? It might have been, I said, did he have any Oh, yeah, problem with his blood sugar and his breathing wasn't so good. He was on an inhaler. He had asthma. And I'm thinking,
Well, hang on.
it could have been just flu, It could have just been a really bad case of the flu.
Sorry, guys. It's the Hungarian foreign minister test positive on arrival in Bangkok for COVID.
Jesus.
There you go. So it's the Hungarian foreign minister.
What, recently?
Just over an hour and a half ago.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there we go. That's there we go.
But I do think a lot of these countries now, before you enter, if you need a visa to enter, will start requiring insurance as mandatory. So I think that the insurance companies around the world will be laughing their taters off in the future, mate.
I do as well. I mean, one thing that is coming into Thailand at the moment, and that is at the end of, I think it's the end of this week. At the end of this week, they're bringing in fresh new tax breaks for all businesses in Thailand. So that's something to look forward to. I think everybody needs, the truth of the matter is, I don't care really how much anybody's got and what they've got. I just think that everybody in their own way needs some help in this time. And I think, everybody's going to play it close to their chest, whatever they've got, whoever they are. I think, and it's just, it's family first. Take care of your family. Make sure they're safe. Make sure you can survive. And then think about after, where are we going from here? Because that's all you can do at the moment.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, the Thai police, as from the 1st of November, have brought out a new fine list for people who are driving unsafely in Thailand. Okay, so they've got 64 different things on there you can get done for on a motorbike.
Yeah.
Yeah, overtaking on the inside, passengers not wearing helmets, you name it. Everything they do that's wrong is on that list. So they must know what people are doing wrong then. And they must have known for a long time. But it's all priced up, 400 baht, 200 baht, 300 baht, no license. I think no driving license was one of the cheapest.
Yeah, I was just looking at it. It says I'm just sort of pulling on what you've just said. The fines are in the amounts of 200, 400, 500 and 1,000 baht now. So that's what they are. It says that they have to comply. Yeah, it says violations include failure to comply with the new law regarding vehicle condition, use of headlights and horns, compliance with traffic signs, signals, and observation of speed limits and other rules. Subject to the heaviest fine, which is 1,000 baht. It can also say that if you are doing too much noise from one of your vehicles, you can be fined up to 1,000 baht. So yeah, what can we say?
Dickheads.
And it says here, which one? This is one I really like. I mean, you've sort of set me off and unplugged something here. Taxi drivers failing to take passengers by the quickest destination to wherever they're going can be fined 1,000 baht.
Instead of taking the long way home.
For if they're taking the long way home and they're playing, this is the quickest way, and taking them on a long route to get more money out of them.
That happens on the tuk-tuks a lot.
Driving without a driving license or unable to show one is now only 200 baht.
That's what I mean. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, this is wrong as well. Reckless driving. I mean, come on, guys. Obstructing traffic and reckless driving, 400 baht fine.
I know.
Michael Buckley, the new drink driving checkpoint comes into effect from today.
From today.
Thanks,
Michael. Failing to stop or keeping left and seeing an emergency vehicle. That's if you don't pull over for emergency vehicle, 400 baht. Breaking the speed limit is now 500 baht. Driving a vehicle without a license plate is 500 baht. Failing to comply with traffic signs, road signs is 500 baht. And disobeying traffic lights is 500 baht. Driving on roadside pavements is 500 bahts. Using a telephone, which I think has got to be more. This is one that I just totally
hate it.
I disagree with this. Use of mobile phone while driving is 500 baht. I mean, that needs to be more like 5,000 baht, maybe, because they need a deterrent there.
But you see them on the bikes. I had one this morning. No, I'm not lying to you. and I was behind her, and she's like this. She's driving like this. And she's looking for a phone, and she's like, I'm talking to someone on the phone. She's oblivious that I'm behind her. Absolutely oblivious, or didn't care.
Wow.
You know, and you get them as well. Have you ever seen that when they're looking for something to eat on the bikes when they drive the bikes? Because you don't drive your car too much, do you?
No.
You tend to be on the bike.
Sometimes, yeah.
And you're behind them, and they're looking for a food stall or something to
They
eat.
don't care what's
and then
behind.
they won't indicate. They'll just go, and you if you hit them, you're wrong. So you've got to try and anticipate every single move.
But what you've got to remember is this, right? This is something you have to really remember. For example, let's just take Pattaya, right? And the people that are on bikes, they're on motorbikes, the girls, the boys, everybody that's got a motorbike, a big percentage of them have never done a test on a bike.
No.
Or they haven't. You know, they come with their mother or anybody from the village. They've come from the village. They've never been on a bike in their life. They've never taken a test in their life. They go and get a driving license from up at the thing, and they do this, look yellow, this is green or whatever, and they go out and away they go. Or in the old days, as you know, they used to be able to buy a license, you know. They used to be freely available. So they're all working off them. So they've never really taken a test. I think, personally, if you took 100% of the people that are on the roads at the moment in Pattaya and took them on a real test and gave them real things to do, I would guarantee, and I'm not even going to exaggerate here, that 90% would fail.
Agreed.
That's what I think.
Agreed. One of the young lads that goes to the gym, I know his dad really well. He's only 15. And the other night, I went out, I said, where's your bike? He said, I'm in the car. I said, you're only lucky 15. He said, I know how to drive.
Yeah, I know how to drive.
I know how to drive.
Yeah.
Well, we all thought we knew how to drive at 15, but these are the people that are going to kill you. No disrespect, not him, but these are the young kids that you see picking other young kids up at school. Or just go and pick your sister up, 14-year-old boy in a big truck, and it's scary, mate.
I don't think that, I want to try and really say this in a nice way. I don't think that death or accidents hit the Asian people more than they do the European people. They get to us really. I mean, we came down Sugarwick Road, didn't we, Bobby, in the car? Remember what you said? You remember? You see the car at the side of the road, wrapped around the lamppost. Do you remember? I mean, how was that?
That was the most horrific accident I've ever seen. I mean, it was wrapped around the pole.
Do us a favour, Bobby. On New Year, just drive up north.
Yeah.
And you'll be amazed how many trucks will be down the side of the road, smashed into a tree, where they've just fell asleep, mate. Boom, gone. Or they pissed up, They started the party early. And you get it on Council. You've got a small street. It's about as wide as this room, and they'll come down in the trucks. They'll be doing 70, 80 clicks. And you're thinking, the wind goes past you as you're waiting to turn. You're thinking, have you ever had that chill? And you're thinking to yourself, Jesus.
That was close.
If a bike pulls out or something,
But they don't. This is what I'm trying to say. They don't get that feeling. I mean,
there's no sense of danger whatsoever.
You go up north, and you get outside of Bangkok. Yeah, you get outside of Bangkok, and you've been on the big roads of the dual way, the carriageways and everything. Suddenly, you get out of Bangkok on the top side of Bangkok, and you've got to get your way up to Pizza Rock and Chiang Mai, and suddenly you go from all these really big roads down to 2 lanes.
Oh.
And the 2 lanes are uckety-buckety. They've all got things in. One's going one way, one's going the other. Suddenly, you've got 50 trucks in front of you, all doing their speed, and all the cars are behind them. And then suddenly, they start to do all the chess moves, in and out, in and out, in and out, dodging all the cars. I've done it myself, and I shit myself. But some of these guys take so much. The risk is unbelievable.
You're talking about Cabinbury, where they go up the hill, where you go over the mountain. Yeah,
absolutely.
You ought to seen that, Bobby, and what they've got. When you come down,
it's a 3-3-1, isn't it? Yeah,
that's it. Yeah. As they come down Cabinbury, they have runoff points in case the brakes fail.
Wow.
On the trucks, or they've got somewhere to run the truck off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, do an MOT.
And you see these
Check
trucks,
these things every year, you know.
the trucks, they don't have any treads on their tyres either. They're all running on slicks half the time.
Bald as me, most of them.
I'll tell you what, mate, you're looking
You got
good.
more hair. No, you're right though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's and you know what? The thing that's really, really, really scary is in the day, it's scary. Yeah. At night time, you shit yourself because half of them don't even use their lights.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you think, how can you drive? I mean, how can you drive a car or a lorry with no lights on? How the heck can you see?
I went to 7-Eleven the other night, you know, the one halfway down Cowtalo, the big one, yeah, where it's got the car parking front. And I'm coming out and I'm going to turn right. And something clicked with me, yeah, and I just thought, I'll just check again before I go. And this motorbike went past me.
No lights.
No, what she'd done is she put a shopping bag in the front casket thing and blocked the front light. And it's pitch black. And I didn't see her, mate. I didn't see her van. I mean, I didn't have that sense to just check quickly. She'd have been gone. I'd have killed her.
You know all about this as well. You're on a bike, so you know what it's like, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I
Well,
used to
lot
drive a
of-
bike before my car. So that gave me a good insight into how people drive on bikes.
How are you finding the driving here, though?
Well, I think half of the motorbikes don't even have taillights at work. They don't.
No.
And you if you're in a car and you come up behind them, it's like you could smell.
Oh, it's
it's
so
pretty
easy.
dangerous. But their front lights usually work, but their back lights don't work. So they look black.
But Bobby, picture this: you've got one road going one way, so you've got a 2-lane road. One one's going one way, one one's going the other. Right? You got no street lights. No street lights. You're out in the middle of nowhere. You've got 50 trucks in front of you with lights and no lights. You got people with lights on and no lights. Plus, you got bikes weaving in and out as well. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. It's when I first did it, the first time I went up and I got out of Bangkok and I went on to Nakhon Sawan and I went up to Pizza Rock and I went up that road, I shit myself.
Yeah.
I really did. And I've been driving a long time, the same of all the guys here.
You're a good driver too.
Yeah, and you know what? I shit myself, mate. I really
But
did.
you can guarantee you get loads of trucks that are overloaded.
Yeah.
With hay or coconuts or whatever they
cane.
do. Yeah, sugar cane. Next thing, this shit's flying off the back of the truck.
Yeah.
You know?
Great for free coconuts.
They don't get a couple here. They don't. No, they don't care.
They don't. They
No.
don't. But you know, as you go, I got to say something though. What I really found really cool was when I eventually got there for the first time is what they do for transport up there and what they make. You know, you've got like an engine from a car, which is
You get the inside of what goes into these vehicles.
12 feet away, you've got an engine from the car. The handlebars are like 12 feet long, and they just sit on a yeah. And I just like
That's
all
for
that.
that's for digging the fields up.
I
that.
love it. I love it. I think it was great. But it's you know, somebody explained to me or said to me once, how is driving in Thailand? You know, and I said, can you remember the wacky races that used to be on the TV? It's like that on steroids. I mean, it is. It is. But anyway, whatever. Yeah, and you know, good luck to
I remember
everybody.
a few years ago, I was in the back of a car with one of my exes, and her dad were driving. He's driving down Sukhumvit, yeah, near Underwater World. He's doing 120. No lights on. I said, can you tell your dad to put his fucking lights on? She said, no, he's trying to save gasoline. What?
Yeah.
They think they're saving gasoline. Now, 99% of vehicles now have automatic lights. So you just click it on auto and they automatically come on.
Yeah.
So how can you drive down the road with no lights on most of these cars? Because they've all got automatic on.
A lot of them have. I mean,
Yeah.
they're all auto on, but I mean, you know, they either disconnect or whatever they're doing. I mean,
I didn't realise gasoline.
I didn't.
Get gasoline when you turn the lights.
I know that you can save gasoline if you turn the aircon off.
Correct.
Because you're not using the pump at the moment. We got a good one today anyway. I mean, we've got quite a few people online as well, and thanks a lot for all your messages that keep coming through.
Well,
Shout
I'm
out to
reading them
Dwayne,
here, and it's a
Dwayne
lot.
and Michael. You guys are great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. You rock. I mean, you know, we're trying with the podcast. It's building every week. We're now getting more and more people, visitors every week. What we can say as well as our top YouTube channel, our YouTube channel that we set up at the moment is getting more traffic every day. Top video there at the moment is just under 11,000 now.
Massive.
Our reach on Pattaya 1 has been really good. Our podcast last week reached over 200,000 combined, which is really, really cool. Thanks for all the messages on Pattaya 1. everyone. And thanks a lot for all you guys that are on at the moment, online, watching us and sending us a comment. 81 comments today. That's pretty cool as we're speaking.
We're going to have to call you Dave Rogan soon, mate.
No, not Dave Rogan. We're going to call
Bobby Rogan.
Bobby Rogan. Yeah, we can call him Bobby Rogan.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, it's been a good one, yes?
Thank you.
You enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's just, like I said, I'm just sorry I haven't got a lot to tell them because there isn't really anything changing at the moment.
It doesn't matter. I mean, just you coming on here, representing yourself and having a chin wag and talking about whatever we talk about, people can see that you're a real guy, you're a solid guy, you do what you say, there's no messing about with you, you don't talk shit, you're a straight talker, and that's how you do your visas, and that's how we like you, and that's why we love you, mate. Yeah,
thanks very much.
You're good, and that's why we put you in the dungeons, by the way.
Oh no, you can let me out.
No, you want to see the bird that's serving you today, mate.
Oh. Miss Whiplash.
It is. Thanks a lot, guys. Bobby, enjoyed it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Darren, thanks a lot for joining us in the studio.
See you next week, Darren.
See you next
thank you, guys.
And we're looking to the Hard Talk show that we're getting together as well, where we have the debate of the table. So you might have to join us on that one as well, yeah?
Expats, Friday
at
10:30.
Okay, and
the Barry Hotel.
The Amari Hotel
At the beginning. At the Seaview room.
The Seaview room at the at the front of the Amari Hotel, 10:30. Get your breakfast, get in there. Also, if you're not a member, get to be a member. Anybody's welcome. And 11:30 they kick off and they start to talk about everything that's going on. And hopefully Darren will be there doing his talking as well, yes?
Yeah, I'll be filling in.
Breathing in the speech as well. Remember that one, yeah? Take a breather. Let them do the talking. Great, guys. Thanks a lot. Yep.
Cheers, Dave.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand with your host, Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.